Okay, we're going to be finding the y-intercept today, but specifically from a situation. So before we actually talked about how to find a y-intercept from a table. We always look for the place where x equals 0 to find the y-intercept in a table. To find a y-intercept on a graph, all we need to do is look at where the line crosses the y-axis. Both of these things we've already been talking about, but our new topic is how to find the y-intercept from a situation. So, let's get going. Alright, say for instance we're given a slope of 4/3 and a point of 3, -1. We're supposed to find the y-intercept of the line and then write the equation of the line. So I can show you very quickly on a graph how this would look. I would first have the point 3, -1. And from that point, you count the slope up 1, 2, 3, 4, and then over 1, 2, 3. And there would be our line there. So to find the y-intercept, we could just extend this line out or count down 1, 2, 3, 4, and then over 3. So it should land about right there. That's -1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it should be -5. But we don't want to have to graph every single time. So what we're going to first do is use the equation y equals mx plus b. We know m stands for slope and b stands for y-intercept. So since we're trying to find the y-intercept, our goal is to find b. So in order to find b, we need numbers to be placed in for y, m, and x. Well, I know what m is. That for sure is the slope. So how am I going to get an x and a y? Oh, I know. It's the ordered pair over here. We have an x and a y in our ordered pair. So we're going to take the time now to plug all three of these numbers into the equation. So the y is equal to -1. The m is 4/3. And the x is 3. So first, I would multiply my 4/3 times my 3, and actually that comes out very nice. It's actually 4. So 4 plus b. And then afterwards, to get b by itself, you just solve by subtracting 4 on both sides of the equation. So I get -5 is equal to b. So yay, the y-intercept is -5, just like we got from the graph. And if I wanted to write the final equation, it would be y equals 4/3 x minus 5. And that would be the equation from the situation. So let's try another one. Let's just say the slope is 3 and there's a point of 0, 5. So I would start with y equals mx plus b. Since we're finding the y-intercept, that is the same thing as finding b. We need to replace the y, the m, and the x in the equation. Well, the m is definitely 3, so that means x is 0 and y is 5. So 5 equals 3 times 0 plus b. Well, 3 times 0 is 0, so 0 plus b. Well, that means that 5 has to equal b. So that is the y-intercept. And the final equation, if I wanted it, was y equals 3x plus 5. Okay, moving on. Here's another situation. It's a little trickier and it's got some harder numbers. The elevation at which a baseball is hit affects the distance the ball travels. For every increase of 1,000 feet in elevation, the ball travels about 7 feet further. Suppose a baseball travels 400 feet when hit from an elevation of 0. We need to find the equation and then also find how far the ball would travel if the elevation is 3,500 feet. Well, it says the elevation's x and that the distance is y. So let's draw a graph here. Elevation and distance. So first it tells me something that I have specifically, that the ball will travel 400 feet when it's hit from an elevation of 0. So when the elevation is 0, our ball will travel 400 feet. So that's going to be a point on my graph. After that, it also says that for every increase of 1,000 feet, so say it goes up 1,000 feet, 1,000 from 400 is 1,400. So it goes up 1,000 feet. The ball will travel 7 feet further. So 7 feet further there. Oh, I have that backwards. Be careful. For every 1,000 feet in elevation, we're going to go 7 further. So 7 more than 400 is 407. So I'm going to go up 7 and over 1,000 to get my new point. So the rise is 7 and the run is 1,000. We just found the slope. Okay, so we have a slope and a point. So I'm going to write that down. The slope is equal to 7 over 1,000. And the point that we have is 0, 400. So now we're going to do the same thing we did before. We're going to start with y equals mx plus b. We're going to find b, but we're going to plug in the y, the m, and the x. So the y is 400, and the m is 7 over 1,000, times the x, which was 0, plus b. Well, 0 times that fraction, of course, is 0, so that leads 400 to be equal to b. And if you look at the graph, that, of course, is where the line crosses the y-axis. So those two things should match up. So therefore, the final equation is going to be y equals 7 over 1,000 x plus 400. That's the equation. We can use that equation to figure out the second part. How far would the ball travel if the elevation is 3,500 feet? Now remember, elevation is x, so they're telling me that that's the x, so we should just plug it in. So 7 over 1,000 times 3,500 plus 400. So I'm going to enter that into my calculator and find out what it is. Okay, so that is 424.5 feet. So that is how far our ball would travel.